Hello, welcome to the Redskins RoundTable, broadcasting from the LHS recording studio. I'm Landon, joined by my co-hosts Zoe Adam and Elijah Hand.
Yeah.
Okay, so, hey guys, I'm here with Elijah and Zoe, and we're going to start the show today with some words of wisdom from Elijah.
I'd just like to say, real quick here before we get started, always give your best effort and do the very best you can and just try to push yourself every day. And I'm not saying like kill yourself, but definitely don't go in without trying. So, yeah.
Is that what you got for us today?
Yeah.
Okay, so today's show is going to be more of like a random topic kind of thing. So I'm going to start us out with our first debate topic. Okay, Elijah, you might like this one. The development of artificial intelligence will help humanity.
That's actually a really good one.
You ever seen Prometheus? Where that guy builds the AI and then the guy gets older and then the AI, he just doesn't age and then he goes on to like help this other species thrive, and it's like kind of weird. And
I was kind of thinking more like Terminator.
Yeah.
If we build them too sophisticated,
Well,
we can't even stop them.
They're going to start being more intelligent than we can be, and then that'll just lead to just a downfall in humanity.
Well, I don't know if a downfall necessarily, more of like our extermination.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm meaning. Like,
Okay.
we would end up having, like, confrontation and stuff like that, and then, like, it would just completely plummet.
Well, I'm not going to say that technology is like completely useless, but I enjoy having Siri, on my phone. If like, I think there was a situation where a guy got stuck under a car and he couldn't, reach his phone, and he just asked Siri to call 911. And without that AI development, he wouldn't have been saved.
Yeah, and I think there's another topic on here. Humans should invest in technology to explore and colonize other planets. I think whereas technology shouldn't be too advanced because of the artificial intelligence, we need technology for a lot of parts of living, especially for extraterrestrial exploration.
I feel like if we were to, like, explore other planets and stuff like that and other galaxies and all sorts of stuff, we would just destroy more things than we've already have.
I don't think we would destroy it. I think it would destroy us. It's the same thing as cutting down trees in the rainforest.
Yeah.
We are finding new diseases and new species, and that's what's causing pandemics and stuff like that. And
But,
if
like,
we go to another
if we're exploring other planets, like, okay, so let's say we go to Mars and, like, they're like, oh my gosh, there's something in the rocks or whatever, and, like, they start destroying that, it's like that could cause a chain reaction to something, and it could destroy us before we know it.
And we don't know, like, our human immune system is only built to things on this earth. So it would take a long time to do. I mean, even if we could get to another planet, I think it would take hundreds of years just to develop the immunities to be able to colonize that country or that planet.
I believe you're very right, but if we were perfect and we didn't have no disease or sickness, then there's no way that those sicknesses could affect us. And also,
how would we be perfect?
They're also working on something called a warp drive engine, something like from Star Trek. They're working on those right now, and those are like really awesome. If you haven't checked that out, go check out warp drive engine and look it up. They're working on those right now. And we could be perfect. It was God's plan for us to be perfect initially. As you know, the original story, Adam and Eve.
Yeah, we kind of screwed that up.
They messed up. It was all Adam's fault. He had the ball and he fumbled it. And then, Jesus come back and sacrifice himself for us in return for what Adam did. So it's basically a ransom. But, yeah.
I got something on technology too, because I know this is like a major thing. Should cell phones be used during class? Should they be allowed to be used during class?
Yes, I think.
What's your reasoning?
I think in the way the school system is going now, that we have technology, right? and technology is a large portion of how we learn. So as long as cell phones are being regulated and kids are paying attention, I don't see what the difference is in having a cell phone than a computer, especially because they're the same thing like now.
Yeah, because you can still text and everything on a computer. Like, you're not like, oh, yeah, you're not allowed to have your phone because you can communicate with people, but it's like you can access any form of social media on your laptop. So
Well, that, and like I do a lot of, we're sitting in a technology class right now where a lot of my work is between my computer and my cell phone, and I need my cell phone to do my work.
Exactly, yeah. Like, I feel like if you're in a classroom and they're like, you have to put your phone up, like, I'm like, you don't have the resources you need. Because, like, if you're working on something on your laptop and you need to look up something, you just go to your phone instead of stopping what you're working on your computer, looking it up, and then, like, going on with it.
Sorry for interrupting
you.
I was saying that I do agree with you on using the cell phones. And I rarely use my cell phone throughout the day, even though technology is evolving every other day and AI is getting stronger. But, yeah, I barely use mine.
Do you think the change from going to technology or from pen and paper and book learning to technology, how do you even do you guys like that?
I personally don't, but that's because of having experience with like learning disabilities and everything. It's a lot more challenging to learn technology, like to learn off of a computer screen.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree.
Like me testing wise, like a test on pen and paper, I'm gonna be way more like accurate and effective than on my computer. Just for some reason, like doing work on my computer, just like I don't know, I'm just not as good at it. I think it's because we were raised in the pen and paper kind of era, and now switching.
I feel that like. I mean, with me last year, I like failed a test that I would normally ace on pen and paper. And it's like with kids growing up with this amount of technology, they're learning how to take tests properly onto computers. When we were always like pen and paper, it's always just doing everything on paper. And then we have that switch because of COVID. And it's just like we don't know what to do. We don't know how to handle it.
Well, and now everything's computer generated.
Yeah.
It's not, teachers don't always write out their tests now. They're not human made a lot of times now. It's computer generated. And like when we take our driver's test, right? Or when you take your permit test. When I took my permit test, I failed the online one, but I came back as soon as I could, took the paper one and aced it.
That's how it was with my sister. She the computer said that she missed like 16 questions when in reality she didn't. It was the computer that messed up, and then she like missed 2 questions on the written exam.
Well, if you think about it, pen and paper is one of the oldest forms of technology, even going back to the biblical days. So it's
that would be rock versus rock. Actually, they wrote with rock.
Yeah.
They did inscribe, but it really is one of the oldest forms. Writing is just in general, but pen and paper is an old one, whether done in rock with the chisel or on wood with the chisel, I guess.
Yeah,
but
I get it. I get what you're saying. I have a switch in topic, but I'd like to hear your guys' opinion on this because, Zoe, you're not a video gamer that much, and Elijah, I don't know about you, but do you think violent video games are causing a spike in violence in
certainly.
youth?
The other day I seen on the news, 11-year-old hijacked a bus, took it on and I don't think that would have happened if there were games like GTA. And don't get me wrong, I don't think free roam games are wrong or anything, but I honestly think that they do put the ideals in our head. What do you think, Zoe?
I feel like if you're giving an 11-year-old GTA, it's like that's on the parents' fault. Like I played GTA when I was young, yeah. But if you give like, let's say a kid that doesn't have a good home life and like already is like not in a good mental state and everything, and you give them a game where it's violent based, it's like you're really just putting fuel on the fire.
And I know of something else that the military, that they probably used to use games like Call of Duty to train their soldiers, which is...
I'm going to have to disagree with both of you guys.
Cool.
I come from...
I'm saying on certain games if they're like violent based.
I get what you're saying, but I don't think video games are the cause, considering for years and years and years before our generation, before video games, people get the same level of influence from books and movies.
Exactly.
So I don't think you can fully put the blame on video games, considering that like you can see these violent actions. A lot of like, I know years ago, a lot of the school shootings and like shootings that were happening were based off of movies. They were copycats off of movies.
Well, that's why I said violence-based video games, because like video games that have violence in them, like let's say Minecraft, like that has violence in it. You can say that has violence, but I'm talking like games that your goal is to like 100%. It's just all violence.
I think that we just need to have a better understanding of fake versus reality. I think a lot of kids, because we're so absorbed in movies and video games and even books, really, we need to have a good separation of reality and what's fake and what's real, really.
So in other words, it's the type of water the fish is in then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's really the influence. Doesn't matter how you get it. It's the social, cultural.
Well, I mean, you still get like, even on social media, that is also a big influence on the violence that's going on in this day and age, because with them having access to anything, they can easily go on the internet and be like, where can I buy like blah, blah, blah. And that's where violence can be really like.
That's another thing.
brought
Yellow
up,
journalism will make it more exaggerated than what it is.
Yeah, I mean, leading into that, social media's effect on our age, do you think having social media and like the technology age is benefiting or the demise of our culture?
It's definitely diminishing what we are as people.
I disagree completely.
Well, like, okay, so I took
Absolutely 100%.
over quarantine, I actually like took, I want to say it was 6 months off of all social media.
No, I'm not talking about social media
No.
in general.
But wait, and that was the best time I've ever had since I had a phone and anything. I felt like there was nothing holding me back. I felt like I could actually talk to people instead of just being behind a screen all the time.
But I'm not just saying social media and talking to your friends. Like, I'm saying like computers, technology, and like the internet in general.
You said social media though.
I said and social media. There was plural. There was multiple topics in that. And yes, I think social media can be negative.
Technology is a very good thing for us though.
I think that a lot of people just don't understand that we're moving to an age of technology where I can communicate with someone completely across the other side of the world and do business and work with them.
Which that's awesome.
Yeah.
But you didn't say that though.
Yes,
You asked if it was taking us down as people or if it was building us up.
That's why I think it's building us up.
If you look at what it's doing for people these days, it's not doing too much of anything.
You're
It's doing
talking about the negative side effects of people's communication skills and their ability to be emotionally stable because there's not personal connections in their life.
So
No, I'm talking
No, that's
about
exactly what you're talking about.
with technology, there's both good and bad things about it. Like if you look at it, the way that we're learning is more advanced than they were learning
Exactly.
50 years ago because we have access to
Everything.
technology, to everything. We can just look it up at like on our phone or whatever. So
And that's why I think it's building our society because yes,
we're
we're
becoming
not
more
always
intelligent.
Yeah, we're not always socially attached and sometimes our social skills lack because of it, but I can communicate so much better with anybody, not just people around me, not my community, with anybody in the world faster and more intelligent than ever before.
Yeah.
But you've opened something here that we've got to finish, and I'm just saying that if we just all took a break, then some of this stuff would go down. Like
I mean,
the
I
news
agree,
and stuff
yes.
and the media.
I would say taking a break from social platforms. I wouldn't say taking a break from technology.
I wouldn't. I mean, I think that like there's just as many negatives with that as positives though, because if I take a break from what I'm doing on my computer 90% of the time, I wouldn't be a productive person anymore because my work is on my computer.
That's why I said, like, just take a break from a social platform. Like, not all social platforms, of course, but, like, just one and keep technology so you still have a form of keeping busy and still communicating with people, but you're still just, like, distancing from one.
Well, it's not the tech that I have a problem with. It's what they're putting on there.
And I think that will come with time, whereas I think because we took such a large jump into social media, it affected a lot of teenagers and a lot of people's like emotional state because it's hard.
Yeah.
It's a lot of content and resources to consume every day. You're getting news, you're getting messages, you're getting all that every day. But I think as we develop as a society and we train and teach our kids how to deal with this, I think that it won't be as big of an effect as people see it is now. I don't think it's going to get worse. I only think it's going to get better.
Okay, guys, so we gotta end this.
Okay, well,
I know we want to keep going with it, but we've run out of time.
Okay, see y'all next time. Tune in at LHS News Mag.
Yep.
Yes.
Peace.
Peace.
Thanks for joining the Redskin Roundtable. You can listen to all of our episodes at LHS News Mag on SoundCloud and YouTube.